Here we have a new 2024 Chevrolet Equinox. Now this Equinox comes in the RS trim level with front wheel drive in the beautiful Lakeshore blue metallic. And then we have jet black cloth interior. The powertrain consists of a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and that's made it to a 6-speed automatic transmission. So we're gonna see what changes, if any, have occurred with this 24 gas-powered Equinox. As we get around to the front end here, love the gloss black grille, having the RS badging there. Not a lot of, well, I don't see any black plastic except at the very bottom of that bumper there that's poking out. I like how everything's blacked out. Looks very nice. And this newer fascia just really pops compared to the older one, I think. Down here we have 19-inch aluminum wheels. We get passive keyless entry on the front 2 doors. And then over here to the door panel, we have power door lock controls here. And then we have one-touch automatic up and down for the driver's side, express down for the other 3 windows, rear window lock, power mirror controls, power lift gates. We can set that to max, 3/4 are off, and then click that button to open and shut. I like this trim here to go with the RS though. That red stitching makes a big difference, I think. Hood release is there. And we do have a manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel. And there's our power driver's seat. We get 2-way power lumbar support there. So I like that. Even with the cloth seats, we get that power seat. We'll take a quick look through the window sticker, and I want to give a huge shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for letting me review this Equinox today. And then we have quite a few options on this one. We have the sunroof, the safety and infotainment package, and then we have the Infotainment 3 Plus navigation system there. So this sticker's right at $35,885. Let's go ahead and check out the rear seat room. I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3". And pretty decent leg room here. I'm gonna roll this window down for better light. Very impressed, even though this is it's a step up from the Trax, still impressed by the room here, even though the new Trax has pretty good leg room as well. One thing we don't get in that Trax is we have seat back pockets on both sides in this Equinox RS, which is very impressive. We have the rear AC vents, and let me rephrase, the one RS that I reviewed doesn't have the seat back pockets. The higher trims might have 1 or 2 of those. But the USB-A ports down there, and then we have a 120-volt 3-prong household plug-in deep in there. And then this is a look at the sunroof with the shade back. And we do have the middle seat that folds down. Bottle holders are there. And then these are actually on both sides, these hooks here if you want to hang your shirt or something. And I love that we have these premium reading lights for the back. But before we make our way towards the back, if you want to ever set your child lock on, it's manual. You can lock it and unlock there. Standard fuel filler. Now as we come around to the back end, I do like that we get the LED tail lamps with this Equinox RS. And a good looking back end, if I do say so myself. Let's go ahead and pop the lift gate. So this has a $350 option for the all-weather floor mats. So that basically covers the floors, and then you get the back of the seat here, and then this for the cargo space. And underneath that, little storage there. And we can fold down the seats by pulling there, or you're supposed to do it from the front, but I'm just gonna show you from back here. You just push up there, and then you can fold it and fold it back up that way. Now to this rear passenger side, if you want to fold the seat back up, just got to give it a little push. Locks back in there. And then to the front passenger side, we have a manual seat, but we are able to push it up or down and then adjust the seat back or the seat bottom forward and back. And then glove compartment here, decent size for the segment. Owner's manuals are in there as well. Now I have popped the hood, so we're gonna go ahead and take a quick look underneath in the engine bay. And there's that 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder in there, which is your standard engine option in the Equinox. No more 2-liter turbo. I need to stop complaining about that though. It is what it is. So we're gonna hop in the driver's seat. So a nice heated leather wrap steering wheel here. It's a little cool out today, so it's coming in handy. There's the horn there. And then to the radio, again, we do get this 8-inch screen with the navigation. So we get AM, FM, XM radio along with Bluetooth audio. We have a navigation system here. Pretty easy to just either type in or use voice recognition to find destinations. And then you can also go through these shortcuts. So if you want to find close by coffee, it'll pull that up. If you want to find a store, it'll do that as well. And then we have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility. You can change your language here, then your apps. And then we have a rear seat reminder as well as teen driver. Just gonna show each page there. And there's the backup camera, guidelines, follow you to turn the steering wheel. We have that 360 view as well. And then we also have the front camera along with the curbside view. So I'm glad that we get this on the RS here. That used to be something that was just pretty much for the premium, or the Premier, excuse me. The volume knob is here. You can turn that up or down. Click there to mute, hold it to power the whole system down. Auto stop toggle, hazards, dual zone automatic climate control. So we have that along with 3-stage heated front seats. Fan speed can be adjusted. That auto mode can be toggled. And then to turn that off, you just go ahead and adjust the temperature and the fan speed there. An SD card reader for the nav, and then we have a USB-C, USB-A, and an aux input there, and a 12 volt. And I misspoke here. I meant to say turn the auto mode off, adjust the fan speed. I just caught myself on that. And then we have our parking sensors here. And for the 6-speed, pull the lever, reverse, neutral drive, and then you have that limiter there for that low gear, and you can manually shift and it'll show you what gear you're in that bottom right hand corner. And then electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, to the brake, press down to disengage. And then I'm gonna let that roof back, or the sunshade back, excuse me, while I'm showing the center console here. 2 USB-A ports, nice light in there. And we also have a removable tray. And there's that. And then we can tilt or slide that. While it's sliding back, I want to show the sunglasses holder here and then all the controls. So that's one touch. We're gonna hit it a second time to get it all the way back as far as it'll go. And that's how far it goes, all the way there. Then we can hit that sunshade. And while that goes back, we'll take a look at the back seat there. Now back to the steering wheel. Behind on the left side, blinkers are here. We can flash the high beams, and then we can also toggle the auto high beams. When you're in the auto mode, that'll get those to work. So you can just toggle those, and then when they need to come on, they will. Windshield wiper controls are here. We have one time off and then intermittent low high. We can adjust the intermittent here, and then our rear wipers here. Push back for the rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front wiper fluid. Behind the steering wheel on the left side, we can go through our track list of radio station favorites. And then behind on the right side, we can toggle volume up and down there. Now we do get adaptive cruise control with that optional package there. So we can toggle that on or off there, cancel, set the gap adjust for that, as well as the forward collision alert, and then adjust speed here. Again, that heated steering wheel toggle, the lane keeping system with lane departures there. Then we have voice recognition, mute, and we can use these 4 arrows to go through the digital part of the gauge cluster here, and I'll give you a quick rundown of that. So we can go through our info here. Tire pressure monitors are available, fuel mileage, fuel range, oil life, and then if you want to change any of that, go into here, toggle those info page options, and you can turn, let's say, this off, and maybe you want to turn this on. You can do all of that, and then your units can be changed here from US to metric, and then all this is under the options tab again. And then your traction control and stability control can be toggled there. You can decide what you want to do with that. So a pretty neat system to have. Push button starts there. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. And now it's time to go ahead and take this 24 Equinox RS out on the road for a quick test drive. So starting the test drive in this 24 Equinox RS, I will say I've driven this with this powertrain several times, and one of my favorite things about it is going to be the turbocharger. Now, it's not the 2-liter turbo that I like, but this 1.5 gets the job done. And mostly where the turbo kicks in, that's where it really shines. Now, just having the 4-cylinder, it can be a bit loud, but nothing crazy. But we're gonna go ahead, give it some throttle here, just a little. And again, the boost you get from the turbo does help. I think a lot of people would have rather seen a high output V6, but again, it gets the job done, and then you're able to get that 30 miles per gallon highway as well. But the ride's pretty solid coming down the interstate here. Wind noise not terrible. Hearing just a tad of it, but it is windy and a bit chilly out today. Now I will say I can just feel a little movement in the steering wheel and in the floorboard, just a tad, with these bigger 19-inch wheels. But it doesn't necessarily affect the ride quality. It's just, again, I'm able to feel it. I just want to put that out there. It's not like I don't feel the road. But brake pedal feels good. Not too squishy, but it's not overly firm either. So it won't be jerking you. Now you can compare this to maybe a RAV4. I'd say a Nissan Rogue, Honda CR-V, Ford Escape. There are plenty of different options in this segment. But I think what really helps this one stick out, especially in this trim level with the options, is just all the technology that you get. I love having the adaptive cruise control. I have blind spot monitors. I have the navigation system, the wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. There's just a lot that you get here. And then the sunroof is a $1,500 option, so you may or may not want to spend that extra money to get that. But it is nice to have, especially with it being a panoramic roof. Now, with that being said, this is pretty high dollar for it to be a front-wheel drive car or SUV with cloth seats. So I would want to go up and maybe either, I don't know if it's a package, but I definitely want leather, and I would probably want ventilated seats as well for something that's almost $40,000. But again, you do get a lot for it. The heated seats are working great, even with the cloth seats. And this heated steering wheel is fantastic, again, especially with it being a little chilly outside. Now, from a reliability standpoint, I don't really see that many out there with this kind of mileage yet, but I should say with the refresh, I think the 18s are just starting to, you're seeing a few of those with 6-figure odometers. But I'm seeing a couple of these in this body style with maybe 20, 30,000. People aren't complaining, I guess, that much, at least I haven't heard. And I think if you're in this segment, you get a lot of what you like from the interior space. The ease of driving is a big one. And then the infotainment, just being able to have your main buttons here. You still have to do a lot of stuff through the touchscreen, but for most things, you can either use the buttons behind the steering wheel or the actual buttons on the screen. So I think a solid option, definitely. You just might be able to do a little bit better depending on what you're in the market for, but I definitely like this SUV. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Equinox RS.